Hello and welcome to the Official Watches YouTube channel here at Jardin du Mayfair, heaven on earth for the watch enthusiast. I am so incredibly excited to be bringing you yet another gem set Patek Philippe Nautilus. It's the 5711-112P Ruby, and this is something truly special. So if you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly ever imagine. Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5711. It would be fair to say that the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5711 is the most sought after steel sports watch of a lifetime. It has reigned supreme since its introduction in 2006, although the Nautilus has been in production for much longer. The 5711 is the modern 40mm variant and shows no sign of conceding its status anytime soon, despite being discontinued, much to everyone's vexation in 2022. Its reputation lies in versatility. The Nautilus is one of those go anywhere, do anything watches. It's slimline enough to fit under the cuff, formal enough to wear with a suit, and waterproof enough at 120 meters to breeze through anything that the beach and some scuba diving can throw at it. There are not many sports watches that can claim such all-rounder status. Its closest competitor, the Royal Oak, is water resistant to a relatively shallow 50 meters. The Submariner is a robust dive watch and covers casual very well, but arguments still rage about its suitability as a dressier piece due to the rotating bezel. The Daytona can pass under a cuff and swim to 100 meters, but as a chronograph it doesn't hold the same uncomplicated appeal. For collectors, of course, this is irrelevant since they use different horses for different courses, but the Nautilus is still the #1 and the most simple three-hander to tower above the rest of the lineup on the most wanted lists. The other factor for the 5711's enduring popularity is rarity, regardless of variant. This is a similarly unicorn edition and is referenced 5711-112P Ruby, full platinum with a ruby bezel and indexes. Conservatively, I have to say that it's a spectacular piece, but how could it not be? It's a 5711 and it's in platinum. The weight on the wrist is an absolute pleasure. The heft of platinum has been well counterbalanced by the fact that the Nautilus is a slim piece with a broad head. It wears absolutely perfectly, and as if that wasn't enough, the bezel is gleaming with 32 baguette rubies that are channel set without gaps to create a completely flush fit with no visible metal in between the stones. An interesting note is that the baguettes follow the flow of the octagonal bezel precisely, meaning each one is angled to curve around the angles of the bezel lines, which is infinitely more complex than it looks at face value. Each stone is set entirely by hand, and gems are never bonded with adhesive. Patek are unsurprisingly on top of their game here. Practically speaking, the baguette bezel completely obliterates the traditional concerns of those who wear genter-designed watches, such as the Royal Oak and Nautilus, who are probably very aware that the brushed metal bezels of the watch can pick up hairlines just by being looked at in the wrong way. It's perversely entertaining to think that additional decoration, which is occasionally frowned upon by purists, serves to upgrade the Nautilus from mind that doorknob to tougher than Jason Statham. The case is identical to any other 5711, so it has specs of 40mm diameter, 8.6mm thick with a lug-to-lug width of 48.5mm, if we include the integrated end link, which we should whenever measuring integrated pieces. The platinum finishing is identical to the steel models with alternating mirror polish and satin areas. It's also worth noting that this sort of detail is much harder to achieve on platinum than it is on other metals, so hats off to the finishers there, they've done a fantastic job. There is also a subtle top Vesselton diamond nestled into the lower edge of the bezel at 6, a signature addition on Patek's platinum pieces, so whenever you check the time you have the glint of a diamond to remind you of what you're wearing. The dial has a smoked black gradient which moves from charcoal in the centre to black at the outer and is decorated with 12 baguette rubies to form the indices. Now there's no lume on them, but the glint makes it easy enough to read beyond sundown. The white gold hands are loomed, which also helps, and rather niftily, the second hand is ruby red, which blends in with the theme, and it's a seriously nice and well thought out touch. Despite being a diamond-clad platinum lump of Patek, this watch has exactly the same wear capabilities and water capabilities as its steel counterparts, 120 meters, which is always pleasing me when a watch manufacturer doesn't give loss of capability because of the associated addition of diamonds. In some cases they do, but not here, not with Patek, and I love that about this piece. The movement is caliber 324 SC and has 45 hours of power reserve and quick set date, but no hacking seconds. That said, you can hack them yourself if you want to be dead on by applying back pressure to the crown, which stops the sweep. All things considered and vintage 3700 aside, this is quite possibly peak Nautilus for me. The platinum turns it from feather-light to noticeable on the wrist without being uncomfortable. The rubies add just the right amount of pizzazz, and it's exceptionally limited on the market. I can't say that enough. This is the first ruby I've had. I have done the blue sapphire already, leaving me only one left, the emerald, the last Pokemon I need to catch them all. Now, I've always been a die-hard steel fan, but if we put values aside, I'm going to say it again, this is peak Nautilus. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me here for a whistle-top tour of this insanely rare Nautilus. It is so special and I am in love with it. I don't think I can offer higher praise than to say I would happily retire on a beach somewhere with this watch and just never take it off. And for me, someone who wants to change his watches 3 times in a day, that is high praise. But I want to know what you guys think of it, so let me know in the comments. I can't wait to hear your thoughts, and thank you for joining me here at Jardin du Mayfair for this exceptionally special Nautilus review.